Well, hey, there we go. I'm live. What do you know? I'm Don. It's late. I'm up. Hi. How the heck are you guys? Well, I think we've established this. You can't really tell me unless you want to use the chat. So feel free to comment in the chat how you're doing and or in the comments below. I'd love to know how the hell are you. Tonight is a very special stream for me. Between this show that you're watching, the live movie watch-alongs, the Night Owl movie talk, as it were, as well as Into House, the show I co-host with my buddy, the Horror Cat Dad, every Friday on either mine or his channel, depending on alternate weeks. We have alternate custody. The legal system had to get involved. Tomorrow it will be on Larry's channel, so be sure to check out at the Horror Cat Dad on YouTube. And I see my friend Lemonia Demonia is here. Lemonia Demonia. Whatever you would like to do, boo. As I was saying, tonight is a special stream because of those two shows that I do, as well as other guest appearances on other channels where people are lucky enough to let me come and act like a fool on their channel. Tonight will be my 100th live stream. So this will be a very special film or a special occasion. So I picked out a special film. Yeah, that's the order I wanted to say that in. So we'll be watching The Evil Dead 2, one of my all-time favorite films. This is probably top 10, maybe top 5. It's close. This is a masterpiece. So, yeah, I thought we would watch this. It's on Amazon Prime. I'm assuming that I'll have commercials. I don't pay for the non-commercial one. But otherwise, if you have some sort of way of watching Evil Dead 2, it's great on many forms of physical media. So I think I own the VHS, the Blu-ray, and DVD of this. I never upgraded to 4K. I never upgrade to 4K unless somebody gives it to me or that's all that's available. But what is this? Oh, congrats, Don. Glad to be here with you to celebrate. Oh, well, thank you, Lemonia. I appreciate having you here. Earlier tonight, I was watching the Midnight Hour, my friend Hobbs Horrors channel. He was watching Video Dead. Yes, I kept wanting to think Terror Vision, but it was Video Dead. He watched Video Dead, and Lemonia was there, as well as Mr. Bones, HPS. And who was the fourth member of the crew? Was Echo there? Who was the fourth person? I'm drawing a blank. Oh, it was Tochi. I'm so sorry, Jennifer. I didn't mean to exclude you. You rapped the Nerds song for us, the Revenge of the Nerds cut. So that's a jumping stream. If you're into hearing somebody rap the Lamar rap from Revenge of the Nerds, I recommend checking out the Midnight Hour on Hobbs Horror. So yeah, as I was saying, we're going to watch Evil Dead 2 tonight. This movie's in only an hour and 24 minutes, so we'll get started here within the next 5 or so, and we'll give it a watch as a crew. What do we got here? Professor Macabro, greetings and salutations. Professor says, sporks. Thank you so much for joining me, Professor. It's nice to have you here. That's my guy. If you're not familiar with the Professor, I've started a movement of people pointing out how criminally underfollowed the Professor is. He's a genius editor, and he's built a whole little universe, and just the dude himself is just fun and cool and awesome. So cheers to the Professor. Oh, Dead by Dawn, Dead by Dawn, Dead by Dawn, Dead by Dawn. Echo Zero is here. Cha, cha, cha. It's raining boglins. Hallelujah. Welcome, Echo. Yeah, this movie, the first time I saw it, it was a strange trip for me with this one. First time I saw it, I was very young. So I didn't understand it was a comedy. So for many years of my life, I considered this one of the scariest movies ever made. And then sometime in college, a friend of mine was like, hey, let's get drunk and watch The Evil Dead 2. And I was like, yes, let's do that. And upon that watching with more grown-up eyes and less like fear of movies and all that, this movie became like one of my favorites. I realized the comedy in it this time, and it was a totally new experience. So depending on what age and mindset you watch this movie, it's either horrifying or hilarious. Very few movies can pull that off. Oh, my friend Ginger Ninja is here. Jason, welcome, my friend from Down Under. Jason with the best beard on the internet. And the guns. Have you guys seen Jason's guns? Jason will whoop your ass. So glad to have you here, Jason, and have my back, buddy. What are we celebrating with Don Lay? As I was mentioning, guys, tonight will be my 100th live stream total. Between the watch-alongs, Into House, and my guest appearances on other channels, we're sitting on 99, so this is 100. So I thought I'd pick out a movie that was special to me. So I went with this one since it was on Prime and a lot of people have access to it. Who wants to read from the Necronomicon? Well, I remember Klaatu Verata Nikto, so if you do, I got you. This is 100 stream. Woo-hoo! Fireworks, explosion, pyro, ballyhoo, all that. Well, Ninja, I think Professor did that already. Oh, the Necronomicon, yeah. Professor's always up to shenanigans. That's why we love him. Man, give me a hug.
I missed you.
All right. Thank you. I'm glad you are here. Mayanne and I were on Mr. Bones' channel, the previously mentioned Mr. Bones, with our friend Lamonia from the chat, who's also saying, hey, May, the Lay and May connection. And the three of us joined Mr. Bones and watched Chrome Skull, the Laid to Rest 2. I've never heard of those movies before in my life, and Mr. Bones said, you got to check them out. They got crazy kills. So we watched Laid to Rest 1 the week before and Laid to Rest 2 this week. Kind of a Saw ripoff slasher movie type deal, but I enjoy them. They're fun. They're gruesome kills, like absurdly gruesome kills, but more face stabbings than any movie ever made. I insist upon it. Oh, congrats on the 100th stream, Don. Well, I thank you, Professor. Actually, a funny anecdote. One of the first times I was ever on any live stream, I was on with Popping the Popcorn, Katie, and you were on the chat as well. And I was drinking this beer that I'd never had before, and I didn't realize it was like 8.5% alcohol. So I was drinking it like regular beer. And then somewhere around, I don't know, like 5 minutes into the stream, I realized I was drunk. Like sneaky drunk, like one of those where you feel like almost you've been drugged. Like, what the hell happened? I got drunk out of nowhere. And you and I were discussing the work of Guillermo del Toro, and my drunken mind combined Peter Jackson and Guillermo del Toro into one person. And to this day, I still think it's like, first time I ever had a talk with Professor, I was drunk and insane and made no sense. So the fact that you're here for this one, cheers. But the Professor has since become one of my favorite people on all of the internetings. Whenever follow him on Instagram, follow him here, follow him home. All right, see if he'll adopt you. Queen Mayanne, and Mayanne gives me a sloppy hand, or I'll give you one back, girl. Folks are saying, yeah, that was fun. Yeah, it was a good time. Indeed, everybody. I made my own, made 2 Necronomicons, actually. Still need to make an Evil Dead Rise version. Wow. Professor's always got the cool stuff. He made all the Jason masks, and now he's got different Necronomicons. If I could have any, like, just odd in the end, I would like a Necronomicon to just, like, sit on my coffee table. So people who know would see it and kind of look, but then people who, squares would just be like, what's that gross-looking book you got there? Damn straight. Is this a getting drunk stream? No, I brought 2 beers. So we're nursing it. While I was setting the stream up, I had one. Part of the reason I wanted to watch this movie tonight is the world is going crazy around me. I had kind of a day, but I usually let these things roll off my back. I try not to hold on to stuff. But like everybody else in my life is having some sort of like, so every time I talk to somebody, I'm like, how are you doing? They're, and it's like, well, yeah, that is awful. You got a right to be pissed. So yeah, it's a real Evil Dead kind of day. So I thought I would have a couple beers, get mellow, watch Evil Dead with my friends late at night. You know what I mean? That's why I'm always chill. I know the right things to do. Did you play yet, Don? I'm going to watch along. No, I did not. It's 1:08 my time, Central Time. I'm assuming it's 2:08 Lamonia's time. So we'll get started on, now it's 1:09. So we'll get started in 1 minute. Jason says he's at work, but okay. Cheers then, Don. I'm having some Amstel Ultra beer with you, buddy. Well, good. I'm glad to have you here. I don't know when the last time I had Amstel was. I had it at one point. I know I've tried it, but I don't know how long it's been. I don't know if I had the Ultra or not. Cheers, Chad. I'm in bed watching, but y'all enjoy your drinks. Well, thank you. No strawberry for you tonight. Man was watching the movie Lounging the other night with a strawberry drink, all chilling. Are you watching along, Man? And another question I always hit Man up if she's seen these movies, because a lot of these are new to her. I bet Evil Dead's a classic to her. Not tonight with a strawberry. No, I understand. Or not tonight for watching along. Yeah, so if you want to watch along, it is on Amazon Prime. We are approaching the 1 hour, 1 a.m., 10-minute mark. So I've got mine all queued up, ready to go, and I'm ready to press play on that. So, there it is, 1:10. So let's go with 3, 2, 1. I'll swallow your soul. All right. Oh, you're watching. Yes. All right. So both Lay and May are here. Oh, here's a commercial, 1 of 1, but only 15 seconds. That's not a bad one. Have everybody in the chat seen this? I'm assuming with this crowd, Jason and Professor, this not only have seen it, but classic fans. Professor's making his own Necronomicons, for dang sakes. Being grumpy is better than being happy. Oh, you take that back. Turn that frown upside down, Echo Bunny. Lionsgate. They put the fancy new Lionsgate logo at the beginning. It threw me off. I was like, what's all this digital cloud crap? All right, cool. I miss the old Lionsgate with the literal gate. Like, there's the Rosebud, the stop motion. Every time I watch this movie, I remember the weird stop motion, sped up motion, whatever, time-lapse photography of the yellow rose at the beginning. Here it starts with this awesome montage. That's one of the things about this movie is, like I say, the first time I ever watched it, it's just terrifying. It's like The Exorcist, except they move around and attack people and possess people, and it's even more worse than just that girl in bed. So it this would have been the perfect Exorcist sequel. But when you're older and you have better eyes and you understand what you're seeing and you understand slapstick comedy and everything, you realize, oh, this is a crazy comedy full of like insane visuals. And as far as like from a directing standpoint with model work and sped up photography and slow motion and reverse motion, there's like so much cool stuff going on this. If you're into making films or you love film, this is a undeniable classic. I just want to be grumpy old fart these days to keep people away who like to put me. Echo, you get a hug too, damn it. You get a sloppy hand heart too. You get both of them. See, look how sloppy that one was. One of the worst ones ever. That's technically the best one ever. So there it is, Evil Dead 2, and it's the Roman numeral 2, not the 2 that's in the thumbnail. I have no idea why that artwork is incorrect like that. Evil Dead 1 is a strange case. You can watch this, but you don't need to see Evil Dead 1. It's actually probably better if you don't, because it will only confuse you. This is a self-dub, or Raimi dubbed it, I should say, a requel. So he had the money to make the first one, but he had a very limited amount, a cheaper camera, less quality, everything. So after that was a big success, then he got the funding to make 2. And he's like, well, let's just do part 1 basically again. So this is kind of a retconned, like reboot. I don't know even how to describe it. It's just best if you don't see the first one. The first one's fun to watch, but I think you should always start here. Let's see here. Let's see here. You're just so buggable, right? You're a bugaboo. One of my collecting holy grails is getting the Book of the Dead editions, Evil Dead and Evil Dead 2. Yeah, they used to have those the DVD selections or whatever, and they had like the squishy foam Necronomicon thing, and they're like, I don't think I have any of those. I've seen them before. Every time I used to pick them up in the store and kind of hold them, but I have 2 versions of Army of Darkness and 2 versions of this, I believe. I have like the special deluxe edition and then like a cheapo Blu-ray. And then the Army of Darkness, I have the brown bag cut, the one that's the director's extended edition or whatever the hell the fancy name is. At the Army of the Dead edition, I think, or something like that. And it comes in like a brown wrapper. And then I have like a regular Army of Darkness version. Limonia says she actually likes Army of Darkness. Do you like it better than this, or is that what you're saying, or do you just like it in general? Because I love this one. Let me see here. Y'all prefer the OG or this one? Yeah, I personally prefer this one more. The first one is fun and good, and it's actually even more scary than this. This one understands the like Three Stooges type comedy better. That's why I like it. It's a wild ride on many levels. I never watched the movies in order for some reason. I watched Evil Dead, then Army of Darkness, then Evil 2. Can never figure out why. Yeah, I don't know. I remember Evil Dead seeing trailers for it when I was a kid, and the trailer scared the hell out of me. And I saw it once, and I was like, that movie's too scary. And then Evil Dead 2 came out, and I watched it, and I was like, yep, these movies are horrifying. I can't do it. But then, yeah, once I was in my 20s and I could laugh at filmmaking and things, this became one of my all-time faves because it just keeps getting better. You like Army than 2? Oh, wow, really? Yeah, I enjoy Army of Darkness because it's more of an adventure. This one's more of a horror. This is classic person trapped in a cabin by themselves. And then Army of Darkness opens it up like expansive world, and there's, skeleton crews and all this stuff. The squishy version, the squishy foam version of Army of Darkness is terrible. The latex or whatever they use for the skin breaks down after a few years. That's good to know, Jason. Yeah, I remember that set because it was so like eye catching. You know what I mean? You'd be out like at the stores and you'd just pick it up and squish it. It was cool. It's like a little boglin. Bruce Campbell versus Army of Darkness bootleg edition. I think that is what it's called. There you go. That's but Professor knows. I know it had some weird ass name. The Bruce Campbell versus Army of Darkness bootleg edition. Yeah. I don't think I've ever watched the two of them back to back to try to compare what's different. Isn't there, the usual 12 minutes of extended footage or whatever? So they're in the cabin. Old girl's already done the ballerina spin around and in her human form. She does it later on. But then we also see he's turned on the reel-to-reel tape recorder. And then the voice on there is Bob Osborne, this guy, Robert Osborne. He used to be the voice of, TMC or AMC? TMC, I think. Turner Classic Movies, TCM, never mind. But he used to be the host on there, and I always remember him during like Hitchcock weekend. Whenever, they would have Hitchcock's birthday, there would be a whole weekend of Alfred Hitchcock movies hosted by Robert Osborne. Now they got Ben Mankiewicz or some crap. I don't know. I can't keep these people straight. But he's played the reel-to-reel tape, and the evil has pushed in. We get like evil point of view. The camera moves in a way where you feel like you're riding along with the evil spirits. Bruce Campbell. Oh, and there's his woman. She pops up, and she's already possessed. So we're, oh boy, 6 minutes and 17 seconds in, and we've already got somebody already evil deaded. Professor says the only Evil Dead thing that really, really grossed me out is the sperm bank episode of Ash versus the Evil Dead. Yeah, that's the thing. This movie, there's Evil Dead, and actually it's Evil Dead, right? And then this is The Evil Dead. Is that how it works? The Evil Dead 2, I should say. And then the Freddy Alvarez or whatever is the Evil Dead, or is that just Evil Dead? The is important in the titling. That's how you can tell. There's the classic shot where after he's buried his girlfriend and he takes the handmade cross and it's a Dutch angle and he puts it in as the lightning strikes. Super iconic. And here we're back to Evil Vision. Well, I totally forgot about the Sperm Bank edition. The second Blind Dead movie, which was released in 1973, has Return of the Blind Dead. It is also known as Return of the Evil Dead. Interesting. Here's where he gets picked up by the evil and drugged through the forest, and he's up at the top of the tree line getting his head banged against every tree that goes by. This is about the time, well, when he murders his girlfriend, zombie girlfriend, whatever you want to call her, deadite girlfriend, with a shovel, and then buries her like, oh, well, what are you going to do? That's about the time you realize this is a comedy. But once he starts getting smacked in the head with every tree branch imaginable, and then he gets possessed for 5 seconds, you kind of understand, oh, this is some goofiness. This is Bugs Bunny antics. I really like this one, but I enjoy the story building in OG. Yeah, I like this one better, but the first one, it's like, I don't know. I've talked about this before where directors, they don't have the money to do what they want the first time. And then when they have it the second time, then they really turn on the juice. And the first one, I feel like is just underfunded. It's more amazing that they were able to do it for that cost than anything else to me. Speaking of cost, let's see what we got here. Oh, before I go check out the budget, my friend Jamie Hart is here. Welcome, Jamie. It's nice to see you. Happy belated birthday. I wished her a happy birthday a couple times, but I like Jamie, so it's important we recognize any celebration of Jamie I will take. I like the way this looks where Ash gets possessed. Still looks awesome. Oh, for sure, with like the sunken in eyes, and he looks like ghoulish. Not so much like deadite-ish or zombie-ish. He looks like a ghoul. Pretty damn cool. Jamie saw this in the theater. Hell yeah. When Jamie comes by, we know she's going to have a theater experience. This I saw on VHS. This and Evil Dead 1 are just classic video store rentals in the 80s because the covers are so cool. No matter which one it is, whether it's that skull or it's the artwork of the grave or whatever that has Evil Dead written on it, the tomb. Hey, Jamie, folks are saying Jamie. Pop quiz, hot shots. Best snack to have with beer: Doritos, popcorn, or oven cooked mini pizzas. Ooh, Does pizza roll fall into the oven cooked mini pizza category? They seem like they're of a kin. Because I would always go pizza roll. Popcorn is last. Popcorn is great because they have it at bars and stuff, and especially when it's free. But never eat from anybody else's popcorn bowl though. No telling where people's weird pee-pee hands have been while they've been drinking. But yeah, I would probably go mini pizzas, Doritos, popcorn. Let me know in the chat or the comments what you think. Pizza bagels. There you go. See, so pizza bagels, pizza rolls, mini pizzas. Yeah, that warm deliciousness of a snack is perfect. Pizza, Doritos, but the OG Doritos, none of the ranch or spicy ones. The OG Doritos because they have the best Doritos ever. Yeah, I think I like nacho cheese the best. Ranch is pretty damn good though. I don't mess with any of the other ones. Chicken wings with beer. Chicken wings are good. Although I like barbecue chicken wings. So you get the gross fingers. I don't know. I do. That's what I mean. The cover on this, if I remember correctly, had an embossed skull over here. Yeah, that was the version I had, the big black, and it came in, the American version came in a snapper case or whatever, like it wasn't quite a clamshell, but it was that type of thing, a hard plastic. It was black. It was super cool. And then it's got the skull on the front. I can't remember what the one when I was a kid is. I think it might have been like the blue one where it's like he's pushing the cross in. I don't know. There's the classic. That's Sam Raimi's car. It's in every Sam Raimi movie he directs, I believe. Even Spider-Man. I think it's Uncle Ben's car in Spider-Man. But yeah, the Ford, is it Delta? I don't remember. But it's the classic. That's what Sam Raimi always calls it. So it turns up that sort of yellowish, looks like your grandma's oven color. Is that a dirty euphemism? Looks like your grandma's oven. So here's an awesome matte painting where he's trapped because the bridge is destroyed, but the bridge isn't just destroyed, it's the most destroyed. It's completely mangled, like you would have to start over. Like, it's not like there's a little hole where you might try to get a flat going over it. There's sundown. And it happens so fast. Like, that's part of the comical thing. It's like the sun doesn't set in 20 seconds. But once night comes, it's trouble, dog. Not the breaded kind of chicken wings. Buffalo wings with Frank's Red Hot and Rudy's Blue Cheese. I can't do hot. I'm too much of a white boy for the hot. Anything orange or red, I'm leery of. That's why I usually go with barbecue. Your grandmother need oven cleaner. Your grandma's pot roast tastes so janky. Legend says that the car even pops up in The Quick and the Dead. I don't know that. I wonder where it is. I'm sure it probably tells you somewhere. Let's find out. Sam Raimi car, Quick and Dead. But the car was dismantled and the chassis was used to make a wagon in both The Quick and the Dead, and the same thing as Oz the Great and Powerful. So they used the chassis of the car to make a wagon. That's pretty damn cool. And here's the classic, just as we talked about it. They put the camera on a big 2x4, and they had two dudes run with it, and they like push it through the back window of the car, and it breaks, and it comes through the car. So you get this awesome like push-in tracking shot right up to the door, and it slams, bam, right in the face. Then he breaks through the door. I never understand. He like gets in the walls at some point. It's like, how the hell did you are running? But this tracking shot this rivals Goodfellas. This is kind of amazing. I'm looking for cuts. That's why I'm staring so intently. Like, are there like black frames where they can use a quick cut? That's the secret you learn from Alfred Hitchcock's Rope. The whole thing is done in like one take, but if you watch, you can see where the cuts are like every 10 or 11 minutes or so. I like that he juked out evil. Every time I see this movie, I'm amazed. The evil starts chasing him, and he starts like juking like a running back and just gets away from evil. It's like, I don't think you can shake evil like in a game of tag. But he do. It's Ash. Where was I? I promised you guys the budget of Evil Dead 2 in the box office. Budget was $3.5 million for this one. Box office 5.9, which is a massive disappointment, but you got to think that it was probably in a very limited amount of theaters, and most of its money came from home video. This is obviously like a cult classic type deal. There's another famous shot. Ash is hiding in the cellar, and he's got the door closed over him, so he's like pushing up the top, looking through to see. And then we see the people coming back from their trip to wherever the hell they were. I don't know, Egypt or somewhere when they're getting the Necronomicon, or where they find the original expedition. That's what they said. I found the pages of the Book of the Dead. Like the actors in this, it's funny because I said they have more budget. It's like the actors in this are slightly better looking. The lighting is all better looking. They have budget for a good plane. The tow truck. Let's see here, man. It says y'all making me hungry, right? I don't mind buffalo. I prefer barbecue. Yeah, barbecue to me is good. I don't know. Man, you should get some sushi to eat. I don't like sushi. I wish I could. I live an hour and a half from Buffalo. Hot wings are part of my whole being. Yeah, that is kind of your identity there. It'd be like me saying I don't like cheese or something. Man, you should get some chicken nuggets, tasty poultry nuggets. Kind of a poultry geist, if you will. I love me some sushi. I can't do it. I've had it twice in my life, and it just wasn't my thing. I like warm food. I'm a weirdo like that. I don't know. Same ginger, same. You, Professor, do all sushi rolls or traditional sushi? Because over here in Grand Old Country of Mexico, they only do sushi rolls. So, okay. I can't vibe with sushi. That's my girl. You know what's up, boo. So there, Ash pulled the Snake Plissken. After everything went down, he kind of had to trip for a second. He just sat down in a chair and thought about things. Like, man, things got crazy for a second. I love Bruce Campbell as Ash. The character itself is like one of my favorites. He's very similar to Jack Burton from Big Trouble in Little China. They're both like super competent, but they're also clownish buffoons. So I totally relate. It's like, they can get their stuff done and they're admirable people, but at the same time, it's just like, you guys need to tone it down a bit. But he's so like classic for it. He's almost like a surrealistic version of like a leading man. Like he's like the Tick or something. He's just got like a big jaw and he's so like, hi, I'm classically handsome and competent. Like, I don't know, he's funny to me. That's his whole shtick is never-endingly hilarious, especially in Army of Darkness. He kills it with all that in Army of Darkness. I would just move with my friend Margie when I was in 8th grade. The crowd was rowdy and hopped up on Mountain Dew and jujubes. It was super fun. I'm jealous. I don't even remember this being at the theater. I only remember it as VHS. As a kid, I thought it was straight to VHS, which made it even more scary. Like it was that underground snuff film type stuff. You gotta dig to find that one. Not everybody knows about it. Now you see like old pictures of Chuck D and Flavor Flav going to see it on Times Square and stuff. All kinds of sushi. That's what people tell me whenever I complain about the cold sushi. It's like, there's warm sushi. It's like, never seen it. I don't know. I mean, they got deep fried with ranch. You got that? No. That must have been an awesome experience. Jamie jealous, right? Jamie always has the good theater experiences. It's weird. My memory is frequently but I remember like every movie I've ever seen in the theater. So there, he looks out the window and the cross falls down, the one that he put of his girlfriend, and her decayed corpse is already like, I don't know, her whole body's completely decayed in an afternoon. She's down to just bones in the legs. And she gets out and her head rolls up onto her head and she does like this spin around ballerina dance like she did earlier. Like that's how we know it's her. Ash is such an asshole, but he's a lovable asshole, right? Indeed, Professor. I don't like sushi. Yuck. Like everybody got opinions on sushis and hot or cold wings. I don't blame them. So this is all great, like stop motion. I don't know. I guess you could call it claymation, but to me, it's stop motion. It's more just, there's probably a wire in there. This was all done, I believe, by K&B, right? I think that's who did the effects for this. I've seen this movie probably 10, 15 times on its own, and then probably another 5 or 10 with the Sam Raimi, Bruce Campbell commentaries, because the two of them are hilarious together. Like they just make dumb dad jokes and they crack on the movie and make fun of each other. Like it's listening to them together is a super good time. So I've listened to that commentary over and over. Same with Army of Darkness. Ginger wants sushi now and wings. Like I said, he's swole. You got to eat. The trick is to have cold sushi with warm sake. I've had warm sake before. That'll get you drunk, man. Woo. Saki's one of those where it's like, this isn't that bad. And the next thing you know, you're like, I'm crunk. Let's go fight a buffalo. But then Ash realizes he's just tripping. He's still sitting in the chair. But then double psych. The head drops in his lap. She bites his hand, and here's where the head is on his hand, and he's got his girlfriend's decapitated head, and he's trying to bang it against the wall and get off. Like, this is so darkly comic. Like, it's absurd. And then as soon as he gets these people defeated, the other jackasses are going to show up in the tow truck and make his life miserable. It just keeps getting worse and worse. It's like totally out of the frying pan and into the fire for Ash over and over again. I went to the movies a lot. There wasn't much to do in my town. I spent many a weekend at the mall. Plus, my mom was insistent on having family movie night almost every weekend. That would make sense. The theater was far away. Our mall was probably, 20 minutes away. Well, no, probably 10 minutes away, but too far to ride your bike to. So we almost never went to movies. Well, I saw a lot of them, but not like once a week. It would be more like, once a month you might go see a movie or something. But VHS, there was perpetually 3 tapes from the video store forever sitting on my VCR. I don't think I ever remember a time when it was empty. So he puts his girlfriend's head in the vise and he pulls his arm out of it or whatever. So he pulls back the thing to see where the chainsaw is because he's going to cut her up with a chainsaw because, of course he is. What else would you do? Duh, natch. So he pulls back this thing to reveal where the chainsaw should be because there's a chalk outline on it. Everybody puts the chalk outline so you remember what hangs there. And then there's the awesome jump scare where the decapitated body of his girlfriend comes running in carrying a chainsaw and tries to murder him. And we're now at the 21-minute, 39-second mark. And Ash is already completely covered in black goop. The black blood in this, we've talked about this before. The MPAA, if you can find a way to make the blood some other color than red, they'll usually not be as hard on you with their rating. So like this movie would have been NC-17 because of so much blood and gore and violence. But if you can make the blood black or you can make the blood green or whatever, then it's less, I don't know. For some reason, they hate the color red. Tarantino's talked about that before too. So a lot of the blood on Ash and a lot of the stuff pouring out of their mouth is like this black bile looking stuff to make it extra. It looks like oil to me always. Pop quiz, hot shots. Best Bruce Campbell, Ash, Autolycus, and Xena, or Briscoe County Jr. Briscoe County Jr. well, I'm not that familiar with the Xena character. I knew she was on, or knew he was on there, but I didn't know he was Autolycus. But Briscoe County Jr., I always felt like that was the cowboy version of Ash. I always kind of wish that character would end up like it would be, Cowboy Evil Dead. I wanted Briscoe County Jr. to stumble into that. I always just think of Bruce Campbell. The first thing that comes to mind is The Tick, just the big chest and the square jaw, and he's just, I got this handle. Like he's almost like a parody of a John Wayne type or something. He's the competent action hero, but it's almost absurd how competent he is. He's ridiculous. Oh, let's see here. I will never touch sake again. When I lived near Seattle, the girl who was friends with one of my friends tricked me into taste testing sake, and I was crying at the end of my for mercy. Yeah, it'll get you drunk, boy. Is that scene where you see Freddy's glove? I've heard that, and I completely forgot to look. My bad. Yeah. There's a running gag or whatever between Wes Craven and Sam Raimi. In Sam Raimi's The Hills Have Eyes, he has a poster up of Jaws, and then the I don't know, somebody's torn the poster, and it was supposed to be like this kind of diss track hidden thing, like Jaws isn't real scary, this is real scary. The Hills Have Eyes, like this is terror. So when Raimi made, was it this one or the first one, where he has the poster of The Hills Have Eyes in the basement, it's ripped down. So then him and Craven kind of have like sort of this like playful banter, jabs between each other. Lamonia says she likes Autolycus. I religiously used to watch Xena. It was always, I don't know, like Hercules got real big and Xena got real big. I never really watched those shows that much. There was a lot of good TV in the late 90s, early thousands. They have the best Xena box set of all the episodes. Wow, nice. We take the city bus to the mall, or sometimes one of the moms would drop us off. We got kicked out of Sparrows about once a month for causing a disturbance. To be 14 again, for sure. Here's where Ash goes over to the mirror. This gets ripped off in like every movie, like horror movies for forever steal this gag, where he goes over and he looks in the mirror and they cut away, and then when they cut back, they substitute it with a fake wall so he can grab himself through the mirror. But the weird Bizarro Ash has like extra latex on his skin and on his chin and on his nose, so he's kind of witchy, like he's got he's like, I don't know, extra spooky, warlocky, like a goblin. And he touches the mirror and it's back to normal. Horror movies love to do that, where somebody has to go just wash their face and then they lean up and they look in the mirror and oh my God, I saw Dead by Dawn, and I'll spork your soul. Yeah. Thank you, Professor. You got my back on these bad jokes. This one of the first short films I ever made. I copied this scene right here where Ash's hand gets possessed, even down to like the painting the lines on the hand and being attacked in the face and everything. The scene is just so absurd, making Bruce Campbell fight with his own hand. And I will spork your soul. I'll spork your soul. But this is a great excuse for him to have to cut off his hand then, which then leads to the chainsaw. And then when he cuts it off, he uses the book A Farewell to Arms. That's, you know what I mean? It's how could I not love this movie? Jinja says Ash. Yeah, I feel you. Yeah, I would have to go Ash because he's, an icon to me. Speaking of icon, that's an awesome shot where they do like this kind of slow spin pull out from the cabin, but it's like clearly a model, and there's all these lights coming out from behind like the boarded up windows as they pull back and the fog machine rolls in. Like, this movie does such a good job of like miniatures, matte paintings, crazy, camera movement. Xena is a case of a spin-off being better than the show it was the spin-off from. Ash is my favorite. Yeah, Briscoe's fun. Briscoe, because it's similar type of thing, but Ash is just, I don't know. I feel like he's a template for a type of character. Professor, what about his character from Jack of All Trades? I haven't seen Jack of All Trades. You can see Freddy's glove in the shed above the door. Can't remember for sure what scene it happens in. All right, well, the next time he gets back out there, I'll look. Like an Orca the Killer Whale or Shamu killed Jaws. Yeah, these used to do these like hidden rap diss tracks in movies. Like, here, let me reference this movie, but kind of like piss on it, Yeah, I barely watched Hercules, but shout out to Kevin Sorbo. Rar. Yeah, I don't know. He was always weird to me. He wasn't like a traditional, usual. I don't know. I guess he had kind of a Tom Selleck thing. I'm trying to think of who to compare him to as a. I don't know. He falls in that David Boreanaz or whatever that guy's name is. Like, there's that second tier of like TV handsome guys. He was always one. He never really broke through to film. Yeah. Lay, too bad Sorbo became such a piece of shit. Oh, I was unaware he was a piece of shit. Is he? Oh, actually, I think isn't he a nutcase on Twitter? Maybe. Did he? I haven't kept up with him. I have a sporking stomachache and its sporking sucks. Well, I can't think of a weird sport pun that you didn't already use. I'm sorry. I hope you feel better. Spork the pain away. I don't know. I'm already lost. Even Lucy Lawless called him a piece of shit. Oh, well, I'm Team Lucy. Better get better, Jamie. Yeah, no, that's why I was like, I want Jamie not to. I don't want her to feel bad. He might also be anti-trans. Oh. So he's slowly revealing himself and his nutcasey. There's the cool shot where the camera is in the water and you see Bruce washing his hand. But the kitchen is full of plates with food on it. It's like, shouldn't that be stinking? We didn't see them eat Franks and beans earlier. So here, sped up motion, and Bruce Campbell just beating the hell out of himself, grabbing himself by the hair. And he did the grab the back of his hair. He did the like suicide flip, land on his back. And one plate over the head. 2 plates over the head. I often refer to the comedy in this as very slapsticky. It's modeled after the Three Stooges. Sam Raimi was like a huge Three Stooges fan, and there's a lot of like just kind of like the way on the Stooges they used to like hit each other in the head with a saw or like take a hammer and just straight up bash each other in the skull. Normally you like go to the emergency room, but instead they just go ow. So Raimi loves the Three Stooges so much. Any of the extra Bruce Campbells in these movies, the stuntmen or whatever, they often call them fake shemps. And they use the fake shemps to get their asses beat. There's the hand pulling him along, the possessed hand pulling an entire body with just finger strength. That's good hand strength. And he stabs a big knife into it. Now the blood's back red, the blood that was black earlier. They say one of the problems with this movie is at the beginning or some of the parts they did continuity of the blood. Like they would try to keep the shirt, whatever, and they'd keep his face the same. But after a while, they were just like, screw it, just throw blood on his face. It's fine. And there he chainsaws the hand as the blood I was talking about just pours all over his face. Another iconic scene, him with just... Are you guys Eminem fans? I am personally, but unless he did something bad, then I disavow all knowledge of him. Jack of all trades never got love because no one ever talks about it, and it was a good show. I don't remember it. I did watch that as well. I also like Joxer, Ted Raimi Jokester. Never heard of that one either. Good evening, Mr. Sean. Welcome, Cinephile Sanity. Nice to see you, buddy. Sean's probably an adamant lover of Evil Dead 2. Jamie, hi, Sean. Folks are saying hi to Sean. Welcome, Sean. What's your favorite, Sean? Evil Dead 1, 2, or Army of Darkness? Or Ash versus Evil Dead? But not the 2 new ones, just the Bruce Campbell Evil Deads. I wonder, there's got to be people out there who prefer the new Evil Deads without Ash, right? So there, after he's cut his hand off, he puts it in the box. He puts that stack of books on it to trap it. And the top one is a farewell to arms. That's good comedy right there. Let me see, where was he? He was a character on Xena. What's up, Don? I like Eminem, Jamie. Eminem just put out a new song after a new album coming. Supposedly his last. He calls his name Houdini. If I can check it out because it's delightful. Yeah, I'd been hearing about it. I guess he dissed a bunch of people on it and kind of, do what rappers do, where they lay claim to being the best ever and that everybody's copying them or whatever. But supposedly people are mad on the internet because he said something about Megan Thee Stallion. I was like, this is why I got off Twitter. I don't want to know what the masses think. 2013 is your favorite? Really? Even more than any of the Ash ones? I mean, it's more scary for sure. The 2013 one is more like how I imagined these when I was a kid. Like they, I didn't see the comedy when I first saw this as a kid, so it was only horrifying. So that 2013 version is just like, yeah, what this was, in my mind. American would go in order. Nothing could top the Sinister Evil, the first movie from it. Really? Yeah, I think this one's my favorite by far, but Army of Darkness is pretty damn close. I like the first one last, but most people, Mayan and you both like the first one. Be sure to let me know in the chat or the comments what your ranking is. I'm curious of just the Bruce Campbell ones. I really do like Evil Dead 2013, but the fave has to be Evil Dead 2. Yeah, this one is the OG classic. This is the Empire Strikes Back of it all that everybody's love is built on to me. I'm convinced that Eminem can save us all. I hope so. I did get to hear that, Jamie. Not bad. Yeah, I heard it all. Remember when freaking Congo was promoted as starring Bruce Campbell? Dude only does the Ash scream and is never seen again. Yeah, when he turns up in Congo, you're like, ooh, this is actually going to be a good movie. And then you're like, oh, wait a minute. Lemon cake with little seeds, sesame seeds. Let me see here. Wait, 2013, it wasn't a comedy? I know. The whole stuff with the heroin addiction and the crazy ass. I like the retelling of it where they use the names and similar characters and everybody's just kind of doing their own thing. Isn't does the classic show up in that one too? The car? 2013 was the first one I watched, but I absolutely adore anything Ash is in. Understandable. He said he was a Megan Thee Stallion would collab, and does he have a shot at her Fifi because it was shot in the foot by someone? Eminem. See, that's the type of stuff. Why would anybody get upset at that? But that's part of the reason I had to get off Twitter. Is like I can't take mob mentality anymore. Yeah, it's a cool play of words. Man laughs because 2013 wasn't a comedy. So here's where the other stuff in the house starts laughing at him, and the gooseneck lamp is like laughing at him, and like the deer on the wall is like turning and staring at him, and the books are bouncing around, and he's doing like the weird. He's completely lost his mind at this point. The caption even says "crazed laughter." Like at this point, he's just he's completely lost his mind because the world's gone crazy. Speaking of Eminem, my dad's gone crazy. So that's dope, though. This looks almost like a Disney movie where just things are moving up and down. It's like comical and silly. The floorboards are shaking and everything. The pillows on the couch are laughing. That deadite deer head on the wall, that's pretty scary with the white eyes and the blood coming out of its mouth and stuff. Ah, the laughing banker's lamp. And then here's where he hears people outside the door, and he goes blasting through the door, and he realizes he shot what, Bobby Sue or whoever. Even 50, let's say it was the best. 50 says it, then it is. Ash vs. Evil Dead has been my favorite show so far. I need to go back and watch it. I watched the first season, and then I never saw season 2 or 3, I don't think. Because it was one of those where once you get behind, you're like, oh, I'm going to plan a day or a week or whatever, a weekend to sit down and watch the Evil Deads. So I've seen bits and pieces of other ones like, oh, you got to see the new Evil Dead or whatever when I'm at somebody's house. But I need to go through and see Ash versus Evil Dead, the whole series from beginning to end. The deer freakout scene is amazing. Yeah. He said that he probably hit an 8-year-old in the head with a participation trophy. Video Tasties. Welcome, Gareth. Nice to see you, buddy. Gareth, if you get a chance, weigh in on the discussion of which Bruce Campbell Evil Dead movie is your favorite. 1, 2, Army of Darkness, or Ash versus Evil Dead. It's a split crowd. Please watch it, Don. They are so good. Yeah, that's what I mean. It's one of those things I would love, so I don't know why I keep putting it off. I still never watched all of the Dusk Till Dawn TV show either, and I love Dusk Till Dawn. It just seems like I would have watched it just on principle. Ash vs. Dead is the only other TV show I own besides Twin Peaks. Really? That's impressive. I have a bunch of The Simpsons and Family Guys, and I don't know, what else do I have? I think I have like the whole Speed Racer collection. And I have all the Walking Deads. I inherited them. Shout out to Cousin Tim. Avoiding the sperm episode, Don. Trust me. It sounds like a jizzy good time. No, the Dusk Till Dawn show is great. Loved it. Yeah, I watched the first 3 episodes or something of it and was really enjoying it, and then never finished that first season. But then there's 2 or 3 more, or 2 more seasons? Season 2, season 3? I don't know. But yeah, from what I've heard, I would enjoy that too. Next time I get a cold, trust me, that's my go-to whenever I don't feel good is binge watch a show, because I could just keep hitting the next episode. Hi, Ninja. Michael Kieran and Annette were doing the watch-alongs, but they stopped. The Evil Deads you guys were doing? Or the Ash versus Evil Dead movies? Or show? Jeez. So here they've knocked out Ash, and they're going to put him in the cellar. And he's trying to tell him, like, wait, no, don't put me down there. Gets so much better in 2 and 3. Okay, yeah, I had heard it was really, I was enjoying it. It was weird not having Clooney and Tarantino as Richie and Seth, but the dude they had that was playing Richie was really kind of creepy with the glasses and stuff. I don't know. I found him more creepy than Tarantino, if that's possible. Gareth's favorite is Evil Dead 2. Interesting. That's mine and Jason's favorite. But we have a lot of votes for Evil Dead and a handful for Army of Darkness as well. So it's a split crowd. I think people just like Ash. I've always been an Ash man myself. I got my husband into it. We watched the whole thing as they were airing. When I'm sick, I binge watch the Trailer Park Boys. Bubbles rules. That's the aforementioned cousin Tim. That's his favorite. He loves the Trailer Park Boys. I've seen a handful of them. I've never sit down and watched them, but I've seen a ton of it because he always has it on. X-Files was pretty solid, but then again, I had a huge crush on Scully. Gillian Anderson is fine, like Turpentine. Yeah, I was just thinking, I have all the Losts. I have I don't have all the X-Files, but I do have all the Twilight Zones. I have the first 2 seasons of Hitchcock. A good box set is great to get somebody for like a present. I think I have like a handful, like season 1 through 4 of The Sopranos or something. I don't have the rest. But yeah, if it's like, which box season do you need me to get you? Simpsons season 5 or Sopranos season 6? Richie is less creepy. You think that Richie? You think the Tarantino's more scary than the weird guy in the show? The guy in the show felt like he was like quieter and more demented. Tarantino was more like Joker-ish almost. Ash. Yeah, we love us some Ash. True, ma'am. And there was some behind-the-scene drama going that led up to being stopped. Oh, you was talking about the Evil Dead series, right? I'm jumping back and forth between Dusk Till Dawn and Evil Dead. Well, anyways, they've got Ash in the basement and they are the cellar, and they realize something's down there with them. Someone's in my fruit cellar. Someone with a fresh soul. The plan was to do Evil Dead movies, then the remake and the new one that came out, but then again, there was some behind-the-scenes drama. Okay. Have you ever watched Thriller with Boris Karloff? I think I have that on DVD, but I've never seen it. That's one of those that they include in the old school, like 40 movies for $10 or whatever. So she's slowly creeping. I love this whole thing where he's like banging on the cellar door and dude's trying to unlock the padlock for him, but he can't because Ash keeps banging the door. I'll swallow your soul. There it is. And there's that awesome like stop motion claymation where her face turns into that weird head. They do a great job of making the like monsters horrific. Like just the cheekbones and the white eyes and the like gnarled teeth and everything. They understand the monsters. Have you guys seen Black Friday? Ash is in it. It's super fun horror comedy. Oh no, actually that's on my it's in my queue. I was going to watch it closer to Christmas time because I thought that would be. There's so many Christmas horror type movies now that Black Friday's a Thanksgiving, Christmas, but yeah, that thanks to Thanksgiving and this, and then It's a Wonderful Knife and a bunch of other stuff that just all came out at once. It's like, I feel like there's a big backlog of holiday horror that I need to catch up on this year. So the holidays might be fun for that. Hey, Spirits and Screams is here. Hey guys, Echo, I stopped by. My internet doesn't work with the StreamYard. It kept spiraling, kicking me off. I never could fix it. There was no drama. I haven't done live since. Well, that's terrible, Karen. But I'm glad you're here though. Limonia says, if you like Twilight Zone and Hitchcock shows, you'd like it. That's the Thriller with Boris Karloff. I came here to drink beer and watch Night Owl, and I'm all out of beer. Well, here, take this one. Here you go. Yeah, I love Twilight Zone and Hitchcock. That was those are my classic growing up jams. That was when I first started to realize I liked weird stuff that was super dark. It's like, no, it's just pretend murder. It's not real murder. The murder on the news is terrible. The murder on this stuff is great. I was disappointed in Black Friday. I need to see that. Man, GA Spirits and Screams. Good thing we never got Evil Dead Rise. That movie is real bad. It would have led to Echo, not so nice guy coming out. Evil Dead Rise. That movie. Oh, I'm assuming you're talking about Evil Dead Rise. I like Evil Dead Rise. I don't love it, but I like it. Ninja, thank Carrot. Stop it. I love Evil Dead Rise. The pizza box sales, Henrietta's Pizza, great callback. I mean, I feel like if they're going to, especially if it's going to be a new thing where the evil is traveling, the Necronomicon or whatever, there's supposedly various Necronomicons all over the place. But the idea that there would be different settings for Evil Dead movies, like I'd like an Evil Dead movie in an asylum or in a prison, or an Evil Dead road trip movie where somebody steals the Book of the Dead and then they're driving and they get possessed or whatever. Like there's a lot you can do with an Evil Dead universe once you get the greatness of Bruce Campbell subtracted from it. That was always my fear, is that Evil Dead stuff wouldn't work without Bruce Campbell. The Ash character is like so important to what I think of as an Evil Dead movie, but there's so much horror to be mined out of the concepts. Evil Dead Rise is a bad movie. It is the worst Evil Dead movie ever. Oh, Echo. He's back to Grumpy Echo, like Grumpy Cat. I liked Evil Dead Rise. The Possessed Mom was awesome. Not gonna lie, I got a little mahogany. The Possessed Mom, yeah. I think she was on that show Vikings. Speaking of shows I should watch, I've always heard Vikings is basically like Game of Thrones. We want what is yours, life. Yeah, I like this this kind of like blonde Chad guy who shows up. I never remember his name. He's what is dude's name? Jake, right? Oh no, Ed. Richard Domier. But his like transformation where he's like kind of this, I don't know, suburban dad, but then he turns into like this crazed out, like just his face and everything looks so extra monstrous. He looks more violent than the rest. I don't know why. I own Evil Dead Rise. Still haven't watched it. I hate when I do that. I have a handful like that. Stuff that I knew I would like, or that I would at least like to have to watch more than once or twice. So there's your green blood, like I was talking about earlier. The instances of getting rid of red really helps your rating. So there's a bunch of just green goop all over everything. Looks like he's murdering a box of Ecto Cooler. I'm doing good, character. Might be slightly buzzed, but happy to be here with all you amazing, lovely people. We're happy to have you here, Professor. Cheers, my friend. This dude, the I don't know, what's his name? The guy in the overalls, the dude that drives the is that Jake? Dan Hicks, I think. He wears like the overalls and he just looks so extra country. It like adds, I don't know, it's like a reality show. They all have like their own little personalities. There's the highfalutin archaeologist daughter guy, and then there's the redneck with the overalls looking like a Stephen King and Creepshow, Jordy. And then what's her name? Bobby Sue or whatever. Bobby Joe, my bad. These characters, to me, they're funny. They show up and they're like nothing but fodder. Like horror movies are super guilty of that, where it's like, here's some characters that intentionally are here just to die. We've already figured out this person and this person matter, and these other people are pretty much just there so cool stuff can happen. Uh-oh, the clock stopped. I love Rise, and the callbacks to this one are great. I still have unopened Ecto Cooler from 2016. That's why you my boo girl. Not grumpy, just someone who thinks the movie is bad. I won't hold back and say it was a downright piece of garbage. Oh, Echo, another hug, bro. There you go. That's awesome. I wish they would release Ecto Cooler every time a Ghostbuster movie comes out. I know. They need to. Although I haven't had a juice box in years. That's one of the things about not having any kids. It's like very little juice box in my life. Hella chicken nuggets still, don't get me wrong, but juice boxes are at a minimum. I'm jelly Ecto Cooler rules. Yeah, especially those. I bet you could probably sell those on eBay for a pretty penny. Probably some clown would drink them. I thought they would have released him again for the last two movies. Yeah, that does seem like a natural tie-in because people still talk about Ecto Cooler, you know? Which is weird because it's such a strange concept. Like, what do we have for a Ghostbusters tie-in? All right, well, juice boxes. Okay, what do we call the drink? Slimer or something or other? No, Ecto Cooler. All right, promotion for Gary. I can't recall if it is next week or in 2 weeks, but Frozen Empire comes out on home media. I can't recall what gets released first, Godzilla X or Frozen Empire. Did you all see Godzilla vs. Kong or Godzilla X Kong? I haven't seen it. I liked uh, Skull Island, but Godzilla versus Kong. Is that what it was called, or was it Kong? Yeah, Godzilla versus Kong, right? Uh, I was in between on it. I liked all the stuff with Godzilla and Kong fighting, but then when they went into like the middle of the Earth and that spaceship deal and all that, that was too much. So I wasn't that excited for the rest of the MonsterVerse because I thought it was getting a little too silly. But after watching Godzilla -1, I'm kind of reinvigorated for kaiju's again. So now we're watching a very suspenseful scenes. Ash is slowly creeping towards this door. Let's. I love the old the Wyatt family lantern. It really adds to the creepiness of it all. This cabin for a place that people just go visit every now and then is very fully lived in. I'm thinking the woman in the cellar probably wasn't there too long if they still got plates with beans on it sitting out. There's where the pictures start rattling. Once again, they do such a like good haunted house stuff in this with making like inanimate objects feel alive. There's a cool overlay with the ghost face. Looks like Pazuzu attacking them. Holy Mother of Mercy. I did. Godzilla -1 is the superior movie, but Godzilla X Kong was dumb yet also amazing kaiju fun. All right, I'll trust your vote on that. Godzilla -1 was good because it was both kaiju, but it was also you get all the destruction and everything. But then you also had like a nice story, like with the family thing with the kid and the family that wasn't really a family, but they were a family. I mean, there was a lot there. The neighbor lady and her judgmental stuff and all that. Or the green Slimer Twinkies from Hostess. They were tasty. I do remember those. I still have boxes of those too. Professor Lemonia, Ghostbuster collector. You got a lot of Ghostbusters merch? I went a little overboard with the merch in 2016. Understandable. I went overboard with the Phantom Menace merch. I was one of those marks. I spent my whole life clamoring for cool Star Wars stuff, and then when Phantom Menace came out and they flooded the market with Star Wars stuff, I like bought it all up, all the action figures and stuff. Then eventually you realize it's like, oh, they over mass produced all this crap. I was just so darn excited for a new Ghostbusters movie, even though it ended up being a poop show, a spork show. I enjoyed -1 more than Godzilla X Kong. That's what most people say. I've heard a few people. I think Now It's Dark Jim was saying he was finding Godzilla -1 a little slow. But Professor and Mr. Dan and Horror both gave it good reviews, and that's what made me want to check it out. And yeah, I really enjoyed it. The fact it was nominated for Oscar too was, I think it was Best Visual Effects or something. Jim is here. Good morning, sir, from a very hungover Isle of Man. Nice to see you, Jim. Jim's one of my buddies I met through Video Tasties. Jim's one of the coolest guys ever. So he's because of being across the pond there, he doesn't always get to catch my streams. So it's nice that you're here to cross streams with us since we're talking Ghostbusters. Hello, Jim. I do. I love them. Are we all buying the Wolverine popcorn bucket? I sometimes talk about like I judge movie knowledge stuff by like what the mass public talks about and then what we talk about, like the horror movie community and the movie community around here. Like we usually kind of are keeping up with what's going on. But when a civilian tells me about something, I know it's hit the big time. And a guy I kind of half know, half buddies with, nice dude, mentioned first things like, did you see that Wolverine popcorn bucket? I was like, uh-oh, it's hit the mainstream. People are going to be putting their dongs in Wolverine's head. Just don't let your penis get snicked, all right? Or sporked. What that Wolverine mouth do? I wonder what the Dune space worms, the sandworms. I wonder what those are selling for on eBay. Those will have to be a collectible. I don't have it here. I have a weird one. There's like a Taco Bell cup from when I think it's Taco Bell. Yeah, from when Phantom Menace came out. And there's this weird thing where like they have Anakin Skywalker fueling up the pod for the pod racer, but the way he's carrying the hose, it's like right between his legs. So he has like this, and it's a Anakin Skywalker, like, what are you guys doing? But as soon as you look at it, you're like, what in the fuck is this? So yeah, I don't know. I wonder if they do that sometimes to be like provocative and make people think things, or I wonder if it was just an accident and they're like, oh, I didn't even think about putting my dong in Wolverine's mouth. Well, let's find out, Lay. Nope, not even sure if I will see Deadpool Wolverine. Burnt out on hero movies. I'm a bit burnt out on the hero movies too. But I don't know. That one sounds fun to me. I'm interested in it. I do agree, Echo, but this seems like a fun watch. Yeah, that's seeing Hugh Jackman in the yellow Wolverine suit. It might be interesting. I don't know if it's going to look comically silly like The Watchmen, or if it's going to look, awesome, or what the deal is with it. But the pictures I've seen, it looks funny to me. I don't know. I want to check it out. If I can find a Wolverine bucket, yeah, but I prefer to find the Deadpool Wolverine heart necklace charms. Oh yeah, the kind like your Instagram avatar is. I'll be careful with my peen, Don. Thank you, Mayanne. Guard your peen at all cost. Whoever did anything must have been on shrooms. I think so. It could be Aaliyah, but I'm gonna please stop making comic book movies pay. Yeah, I wish they would have. They really oversaturated the market with them. Between DC and Marvel, both trying to make as many movies as possible, it got to the point where, like, I like Kraven the Hunter. Kraven the Hunter should be an on-screen character, but he shouldn't have his own movie. Same with Morbius and all that. It's like he didn't need his own movie. You could have just, had Morbius be in a Spider-Man movie or whatever. Same with Kraven, or have Morbius fight the Punisher on that show or something. Let's see here. I'll be watching DE versus Wolverine for sure. Oh, Daredevil or Deadpool versus Wolverine. Yeah, I mean, I don't know if I'll get to the theater for it, but it's one of those when it comes out, I'll for sure see it on streaming. It all comes down to Dune 2. Warm popcorn bucket thing looked like a flashlight for sure. The Dune bucket was the one the first time I saw it. I was like, who decided this should be a thing? Who okayed that? It was Deadpool who designed it. Yeah, the Wolverine one. Yeah, the Wolverine one is a knockoff of the absurdity of the Dune one. And I think they're all copying Dave Chappelle's, well, actually, what was that movie? Pope of Greenwich Village, I think, is the one where the first time they put the dong in the bucket of popcorn. I don't know. It says it on the bucket. All right. Hobbs Horror is here. Welcome, Hobbs. Nice to see you, buddy. Like I mentioned your stream earlier to start the show. I was over on that channel watching, or in the chat, I should say, watching Video Dead, right, with them. I've never seen it before, so I was listening along. I was trying to decide if it was something I wanted to see, but Hobbs was selling me. Bones was iffy. Evil 2 is one of my favorites. Welcome, Hobbs. You have great taste, of course. Yeah, this is one of I mentioned at the beginning of the show, this is probably for sure in my top 10. I don't know if it cracks top 5, but I often pick movies that are my favorites, like in my top 100 or so. And this is one that always sticks out as being my kind of movie. It's awful, but it's also hilarious. It's got amazing filmmaking. There's no real message or anything to it, which I usually like in there, some sort of theme or whatever, something thought-provoking. There's very little thought-provoking other than just the absurd awesomeness of it. Coin, yeah. I listened to it again and started crying. Coin, yes. I wouldn't get that Wolverine bucket even for free. It's scary. Yeah, it does have that big kind of oval mouth deal. I still want a Slimer bucket. Well, especially if it's got like a tongue. Let's see here. If I get the bucket, I may not be allowed back in the cinema. You really want to see Top's bad movie tie-in items? Look up the Disney Tarzan Rad repeating toy. Wonder what that does. Or maybe I will be. So here's where Ash gets possessed again, and he pops up next to Jake, and he body slams him, and he throws him through the woods just head first into a tree. Like he lawn darts him. It's one of the more underrated kills in this. It's mildly hilarious, but at the same time, it goes unnoticed. Evil Bruce Campbell's extra scary with the sunken in eyes and the white pupils and everything. Like Bruce Campbell makes a good ghoul. Hobbs, you the man, Hobbs. Hobbs is the man. The message is, do not read from Book of the Dead. But then you might have to do a PSA like Pee-wee Ginger Ninja. Yeah, exactly. You guys seen any good movies lately? Huh? So now she's got the big-ass, huge evil dagger. One of you guys know the specific name of the evil dagger? I'm sure it has one. The like bone spinal cord knife thing. On most of these things like this, I'm like, depending on the property, I'm somewhere between 75 to 95% dork. There's always somebody. There's always a bigger fish. You know what I mean? There's always someone who knows all the minutia. That's one of the reasons I like the horror community. I'll find people who have specialties. You know, so I'm sure somebody out there knows the specific name of this damn dagger. Well, let's see here. Just the front cover of the bucket with your beard, Ninja. That's the beautiful part about having that beard. It's a sacrifice I'm willing to make. Sup, Professor? Hi, Hobbs. People are saying hi to Hobbs. So let me get back entranced in my movie. We're at the 1 hour mark exactly. There's 1 hour 53. So there's 23 minutes left. And we haven't had a single commercial except for the one to start. So Amazon's commercial system isn't quite as intrusive as Tubi's, which is good. Whenever they do Ash with the evil face, they always light him from underneath. It's like everybody knows that. You take the flashlight and hold it under your face and tell scary stories or whatever. There's something about lighting underneath the chin that just makes everybody look ghoulish. The Rad Repeating has shown up in videos and bad toys. It's a toy from Disney. Tarzan scream while on his arms and hands moves as if he has and he's jerking it. Yeah. I can't remember what wrestler it was. Might have been Hulk Hogan. I don't know. I had one of them like Hasbro wrestling ones or whatever, and like he squeezed his legs and he did like a. Sometimes I wonder if toy makers do that because they think they're being slick and they're like can try to sell more of the absurdity of it. And other times I just think they weren't even thinking. I don't know. Thank you, Jamie, the Kandarian dagger. See, I knew somebody out there would have my back on that. Usually I Google that stuff, but I've just learned, ask the chat, they'll know. I got the coin, yeah. No. Does everything have freaking commercials now? How is this streaming thing any different from old TV or cable? Geez. Yeah, I know. When I heard that Amazon was getting the commercials at the beginning of the year, I kind of boycotted Amazon for a month or so. And then I watched something finally on it, and it was decent. It didn't have commercials. And then when I watched Maximum Overdrive on here, it did have commercials. It was about as frequent as Tubi's, but they were short. They were all like 15 or 30 seconds. There was no like 2-minuters. But this presentation, there was one commercial up front, 15 seconds, and it even had a countdown timer. And this one, and since, no commercials. Eventually, they're going to have to take all these channels, the streaming services, and bundle them together, and it's just going to be cable all over again. You know, one package will be all the Fox channels, all the Disney channels, and then Tubi, and then some other, and maybe Hulu, and then there'll be some other package with Netflix and Shudder and AMC Plus or whatever. You know what I mean? Paramount, or they'll Peacock or whatever. They'll combine them all and make a package. Sling TV and them are already doing that. YouTube TV is already kind of doing that with, well, they're basically traditional cable, but I guess a lot of people now, there was some whole issue where Disney changed their rights fees and ESPN lost some college football games and they had to black them out at the last minute. And then to make it up, some of the cable companies apparently gave people free Disney Plus for, I don't know, trial period or whatever to make up for the blackout. So apparently cable companies have access to allowing you to have Disney Plus or whatever, which I would think they wouldn't be connected. Jamie knows it all. Yeah, Jamie's on it. I knew it. And the dagger popped up again and Jason goes to hell. Okay, so it is in there too as well. Gotcha. All right. Jason, Ginger Ninja often refers to Jason Goes to Hell as an Evil Dead movie. You got to pay more for no commercials. Yeah, the Amazon plan, it's the base is for commercials, and then after that, no commercials or whatever. And then top tier is 4K and all. I have the middle tier on Max, so I don't get commercials, but I don't get whatever the top of the line 4K 4 devices at once or whatever. It's like, as long as I can watch my movies, leave me out of it. That day it happens, Don, I'm canceling everything and just watching all my DVDs. At least I can see special features that way. That was the whole point. Well, 2 points when I started collecting physical media is I wanted them for myself to watch whenever I wanted. Like the idea of having my own video store was so awesome to me. So I collected a bunch of them, just to have. Like, I want to be able to watch Star Wars at the moment I think I want to watch Star Wars. And then I started buying filler, just like a video store would. It's like, well, I've never seen this before, but it's only $2. I'll watch it at some point. The movies, cost $3 or $4 to rent back then. So if you could buy one for $2, it was cool. Even now, if you rent something on Amazon, it's like $4, $3, $3.50, whatever. So if you buy a movie for $5 and you can own it forever instead of just renting it for a weekend for $3, that $5 is a decent investment if you're going to watch it twice. See how I enable myself by justifying? Let me see. Big hot date. Who are you smooching on? Henrietta or Zelda? Pet Cemetery. Ooh. Zelda from Pet Cemetery is still haunting. Like that imagery straight up, like the curved back and just her skinniness. And I don't know, the fact that it's a family member that you're burdened with taking care of, and there's resentment, but there's also love. And there's so much with Zelda. Like, and she looks horrifying. Even if you know nothing about Pet Cemetery, just that woman sitting there in that blue nightgown. Ugh. Cal L. Daly is here. Welcome, Superman. Nice to see you, Cal. It's always glad. It's not a party unless the Man of Steel is here. Hey, Cal. Hey. Yes to the bonus features for Shizzle. Henrietta Lay, she's more lively and can move better. Yeah, that's one of the best things about physical media is not only having the on-demand and having all that stuff, but just the extra everything, the making ofs, the special features. I love a good commentary. To me, that's like an interview with a director where I can like learn their secrets. So here Ash has put the chainsaw on his arm and we see the quick snap zooms of him building it. And this, I was thinking the other day about this. The logic of it makes sense. Like the pull string on the chainsaw being attached to like his gauntlet on his chest so he can start it and stuff. Like the machine gun in Planet Terror. There's no real logic to it. Like, I don't know how she fires it half the time. There's nobody pulling a trigger. It's just attached to her leg. But the chainsaw, it makes sense. You can start it and get going, right? And the first thing he does with the chainsaw is cut the edge of the shotgun off and make a boomstick. There's the shot of the evil tree pulling itself out of the ground. When I was a kid, the McDonald's playlands used to always have like plastic trees and stuff. So sometimes when I'd go in McDonald's, I'd be reminded of Evil Dead. Them trees are going to come alive and attack everybody poltergeist style. Henrietta Lay, she's more lively and can move better. Yeah, Henrietta can chase you around for sure, but I don't know. Something about Zelda's look just... good choice, Professor. Me too. Yeah, I don't know, guys. Well... She's more gross, I guess, but I don't know. I'm like I say, I'm emotionally scarred by Zelda. Mayflower. Hello, Donnie. Groovy. There you go. I was waiting for somebody to say it. So here's where he goes down in the cellar with the. There's Freddy's glove. So it's when he goes down in the cellar right before he goes into the closed door room to the left. You can see it right next to the door hanging there. Good job of suspense with the slow hand reaching for the knob. What is with gourds? I've never understood that. Something about a gourd, not a pumpkin, but just a gourd hanging from the ceiling is always scary. Like they do that in one of the American Horror Stories. Is it the one with the clown? Like he lives out in the woods where there's just gourds hanging up. I have no idea why that's scary and unsettling to me, but it is. Something about an old dried out gourd hanging from a tree makes me uncomfortable. Tapping into my primal fear of Vikings or something. I don't know. I miss old McDonald's. Now it's corporate misery chic. Oh, totally. That trying to show pictures of like McDonald's from when I was a kid versus McDonald's now, it's like, yeah, a playground versus a Starbucks. And that was intentional. McDonald's thought that they had been pigeonholed as like the clown kids, take your kids and get a Happy Meal place. And they wanted to upgrade and be more like Starbucks, more fancy and snooty, and try to make it like a Apple store or some crap. It's like, it's McDonald's. I want Sheriff McBurger or whatever the hell his name is. I want an actual mascot walking around while I'm in there. The Hamburglar should offer me a Shamrock Shake. Did your McDonald's tree talk? I have this vague memory of the damn thing talking sometimes. Yeah, there was one I do remember that had the things like you would press a button and it would speak, or maybe they would talk. Actually, I think the people inside, the workers, I think could speak through a speaker out there maybe. I do have a vague memory of the damn tree talking. Same with the whatever that damn sheriff. They used to have I don't even know what you would call it. It was like a ladder contraption, and then there was like a big the sheriff, whatever the sheriff McDonald's character was, and it was like a big hamburger. You would climb up through the ladder and then hang out inside there. And I remember just mothers at McDonald's trying to get their kids out of the damn sheriff head. Like, get out of there. Now I feel like McDonald's, but we're just making Ginger hungry. Do they have sushi at McDonald's? Sushi, wings, and macas. Yum. Poor Ginger's going through all the emotions. Did the tree tell you to do things that your parents wouldn't approve of? Shop S-Mart. Shop smart. Shop S-Mart. Yeah, one of the many things about this movie is super iconic. I've talked about this before. Howard Hawks had this definition of what's a good movie. It's like 3 really good scenes, no bad ones. And this movie kind of falls into that. There's like so many memorable scenes and so many quotable lines. And like I've mentioned, there's an iconic shot. There's an iconic shot. Here's the one where Henrietta's flying around from the ceiling and it looks like Dune or some crap. And she's got a girl by the hair. But now Ash is back. So we get our hero back to Wreck Shop. And at this point, he's got one sleeve ripped off to show the guns. He's got the machine or the chainsaw. Let's go. Yeah, he starts the chainsaw so smooth and slick. That's awesome. Ash just straight punches her. Like, when's the last time anybody just punched Jason or punched Michael Myers? That's what I like. It's good. Give me a right cross in these defenses of these villains. So there, her head is grown like a giraffe, and it's all another iconic imagery. I'll swallow your soul. I'll swallow your soul. Yeah, that claymation there is awesome. And he's backhanding it. Like, if a giant snakehead monster demon thing was attacking me, my last thought would be, I should try pimp slapping this thing. That would work. Hail to the Don, baby. Oh, Laymonia, my baby. The tree told me to burn things. Fire. Teaches my boomstick. I wouldn't be able to stand there defenseless. I'd throw hands until I can't do no more. That's a girl. Yeah, just take the fight to him. Your beard told you that. It may have. So there they cut off her head, and she's still, I'll swallow your soul. I'll swallow your soul. Swallow this. And they do that awesome point of view shot where he points the shotgun down into the camera, and you see the big, And I dig this because now he's gone from being kind of like goofy Three Stooges character to he's full on hero now. Like there's been like a character arc almost. He's gone from being a narcissistic boyfriend to narcissistic action hero. These two, he gives her like the big hug and it's all kind of romantic. It's like everybody in your lives are dead. Like, I mean, I understand, but now's not the time. All right. Tragedy bonding is a thing, but when you're in the middle of a deadite invasion, maybe plan a vacation to Cabo later. And now the evil is just completely taken over from outside. All the trees are attacking the cabin. This is all probably awesome miniature work, it looks like. Where the tree like grabs the chimney and squeezes it, and the rocks for the chimney fall down into the fireplace and everything. Yeah, this all has to be miniature work. It's super amazing. You have to do the Army of Darkness after this. You mean like after this immediately? But I do have to do Army of Darkness at some point. I thought about doing a double feature of it, but Army of Darkness wasn't streaming anywhere around here. I'm trying to remember what channel it was on, like maybe Netflix or somewhere. One of them had it forever, and then the other day when I looked, it was hidden behind a paywall. Swallow this. Oh my. Have you seen Hell House LLC? Why did no one punch the heck out of that damn clown? That one's been in my queue forever, and there's like 3 sequels now to it. So apparently I'm supposed to see that one. I think I watched the first one. Is that the farmhouse? I don't remember. Fight or flight instinct, and there's a whole lot of fight in me. So why did the hand say the face? Slap. Exactly. And then they follow the old classic idea that once you've had horror in your life, you get the white streak. So now Ash has just seen so much horror and evil. He's got like the white temple on one side. What's her name? Nightmare on Elm Street. She gets that. The kid in The Sixth Sense. Yeah, it's like a common trope. It's like once you've gone through enough horror and tragedy, you just get a white streak. So there, she's been stabbed in the back by the evil dagger that Jamie knows the name of. And that's such a painful looking scene where she's writhing around on the ground with the knife in her back, and then the tree breaks in and it's got like this awful monster head. Nosferatus, Amen, Nak Akadim. That's a cool shot too. It's like a matte painting of like a swirling vortex pulling in everything. The effects in this movie for 87 are pretty damn amazing. There goes the classic. This is all kind of poltergeisty though, but that's kind of Freddy when he lifts up his shirt and he's got all the heads all over it. You can see all the souls trapped in the monster. For some reason, the latex monsters covered with like Vaseline or goo just looks extra slimy and gross and scary. I don't know why. And when he stabs the chainsaw into the head, blue blood comes out because we mentioned the colored blood is less offensive. And there he defeats the tree. Yeah, I've only seen the first one of. Damn right, they might even do a chocolate clown to the head. Oh yeah, for sure. You hit somebody with a flip flop in the head. Rogan X-Men 2000. Oh yeah, there you go. More Gray, Bonnie Raitt. Wait, what? Seeing horror gives you white streaks? Shit, this is why I'm a silver-haired devil from watching so many horror movies. That's probably it. I think even the mom in Poltergeist starts to get like a white streak, or is that in part 2 or whatever? I think it's in part 1. Yeah, there used to be like old wives' tales about like, a kid that hid in their closet while their whole family was murdered. And then that kid has like a white streak or whatever, things. Supposedly that trauma is supposed to cause an autoimmune deficiency type deal that makes your hair turn a white streak. Megan laughed, Jim laughs. Yeah, everybody knows the white. Hey, Nanette's here. Welcome to you and Jack. Hi, Nan. Welcome. We're at the 1:19:05 mark. There's 5 minutes left. Ash is being pulled into the vortex at the end. And it's weird. It's like a roller coaster ride that he should have defeated the monsters, and most movies would end with him just openly defeating the monster. But this one ends open-ended. You know, him dropping into the, I don't even know what you would call this world. I know this movie was going to be called The Medieval Dead. But then they decided that not enough people had seen The Evil Dead, so they called it Army of Darkness because they thought they could market it better. And all it did was screw up the people who liked Evil Dead, who didn't know that this was connected to Evil Dead. I didn't know Army of Darkness was an Evil Dead sequel for like years. It's like, oh, I knew about that Army of Darkness movie. I just never really connected the fact it was an Evil Dead sequel. There were no like internet or, there was nobody back then to let you know if you didn't have a friend who was way into that stuff that read Fangoria or something, be new to you. The compositing on this flying bat goblin creature here, once they've reached the medieval world, pretty bad. It's one of the only bad effects in this, and mainly because it's daylight, not nighttime. Nighttime hides the matting and the cut around. There you could even see the strings on the monster. But it shows you they knew they were going to have a more budget for the third one. Or they had an idea of hoping to have more budget for the third one. Because if you're going to have horses and suits of armor and all the other stuff it's going to take to make this third one, you must have had a clue there was going to be a bigger budget. So there's Sam, the director. To deliver us from terror, all hail, hail. And Bruce Campbell realizes he hasn't escaped the evil. He's just moved into a life of always fighting it now. That's like his punishment in life. He's going to be cursed to just fight these damn monsters for the rest of his life. Try being less narcissistic, Ash. Army of Darkness party next. Woo! Do you prefer the S-Mart ending or the I slept too long ending? Shop Smart, Shop S-Mart is the classic, I would say. The slept too long, I don't even know if I'm remembering it. Co-producer Bruce Campbell. So he was already co-producing on this. Special makeup designed by Mark Shostrom. Peter Deming, director of night exterior photography. That's what I was just talking about. The compositing at night is way easier than the compositing during the day. Tombs of the Blind Dead had the last girl's hair turning white, all of it. There you go. I hear you. Back in my day, we didn't have the internet. We had to walk 10 miles up here both ways to see a movie through lava, battling the deadites, right? If you wanted to see Jaws, you had to fight Jaws. Now, back then, like just the amount of stuff you could learn about things, it was difficult. Like the fact that you would know the way in the back characters in Star Wars was super impressive. Now you can just Google all that stuff. What's Walrus Man's real name? Pablo Banda, or whatever the hell his name is. So there is Evil Dead 2. Let's go ahead and see if you enjoyed this. You may also like. That's my favorite game to play when these movies are over. Customers who watched The Evil Dead 2 also enjoyed Ghosts of Mars, Sometimes They Come Back, You're Next, Splinter. I don't think I've ever seen Splinter. It's a new one to me. House of a Thousand Corpses, Resident Evil, the original, the Evil Dead 2013. That one's only an hour and 36 too. Dodgeball, Ghost Stories, The Haunting of the Queen Mary, Tron, the original classic. Oh, you have to have Disney Plus for that, you bastards. You're not tricking me into that. Return of the Living Dead, free on Pluto TV. Army of Darkness, available to rent or buy. Hellboy, Creature from Black Lake. Never heard of the Creature from Black Lake. Carrie, Wreck, Night of the Demons. Night of the Demons is like a natural attachment to the Evil Dead movies. I feel like it's almost like a cousin. And Ash versus Evil Dead. Watch now, free episode. What's that deal? You get one free episode. That's nice. Anyways, that has been The Evil Dead 2 with me watching this. I knew as soon as I saw Ghosts of Mars, I was like, Jason's going to be happy. So I'm glad you piped up on time. I know that you get white hair if you have a lot of stress. You didn't get enough sleep. I'm both. Uh, Amazon's recommendations are lies and more lies. None of that is consistent. Well, Hellboy is cool, so it gets a pass. They are a bunch of liars. But I appreciate you for joining us me tonight and hanging out in the chat. Everyone here, Echo and Jinja and Professor and Mayan and Jamie Hart and my boo Lay. Hobbs and Bones make it? I don't think Bones make it. I think Bones is boycotting me after I false flagged on dropping by the midnight hour earlier. But Mayan says, great watch. Well, you are a great person to have to watch with, Mayan. I appreciate you being here. I appreciate all of you very much for hanging out with me. Jim's Retro dropping by, Video Tasties. So we got people from both Australia and now across the pond in England. So yeah, we're really going for it over here. The Isle of Man was represented. But I thank you for joining me, and I'm sure we will catch you. I have a couple more streams planned. Tomorrow we'll be on Larry's channel, The Horror Cat Dad, doing an episode of In the House. We're going to have a special guest, Austin Gallant, I believe his name is. He's a director of an independent film, and he and I are... me and Larry are going to talk to him about his film, and we're going to discuss our usual stuff. So be sure to join us tomorrow at 7 Eastern, 6 Central on Larry's channel. And then the week after that, I'll be back on my channel. Like I said, we have joint custody of that show. Other than that, I have a few watch-alongs planned, so be sure to subscribe and check out the channel. Plenty more in the middle of the night coming up. I got a double feature planned for you guys actually pretty soon here. So I appreciate you all being here. I sent Bones a link, but he never opened it. Oh, I appreciate it. Congrats on 100 streams, Don. Thank you, Professor. I thank all of you for joining me for my 100th live stream. The folks that are here tonight have been folks that have been here. Most of you have been here along the entire way. So having friends here means a lot to me, and you guys mean a lot to me. It's nice to not feel alone in the world, and I got other weirdos to be here by my side. Yeah, congrats, Boo. Here's to 100 more. Thank you, man. You know what? You get a sporking, baby. You get a sporking. Yeah. Oh, let's see here. Congrats on the 100 episodes. Thank you. I didn't watch, but I had every scene running through my head. I've seen it so many times. I figured if every now and then I let you know what was happening, you'd be right there with us. Have a great night, everyone. Have a great night, man. Take care, Macabro. Pizza, burgers. Yeah, he's thinking about food. Is that sushi? Congratulations on 100 streams. Thank you, Ned. I appreciate you and Jack making it here. Night, Echo. I hope you take care, buddy. Echo's my man. Give me a dap, Patrick. Here we go. Good night, everyone, and good night to all of you. I thank you for joining me, and I wish you nothing but green grass and high tides forever. Adios, amigos.